Hey everybody, it's Yasmin Boland here, coming to you live and direct from my temporary office. How are you? How is everybody? I have a massive treat for everybody today, which is I've got a special guest on called Laura Day. She is... How do I even begin to describe Laura Day? She's one of the most amazing people I've ever met. I was going to say she's the most amazing, but I probably can't say that because who knows, you know, there's always my teacher in India and God knows who else, and my mum and dad and my husband and my son, and my sister. But honestly, she truly is an extraordinary person. They call her the psychic of Wall Street. She has read for people including Brad Pitt. I better not say anyone else because I know that that's public knowledge. I don't know if everybody that she's read for is public knowledge. And she's going to be online and we're going to be talking about the importance of shifting the energy. Which is something we're going to do at full moon. So that's what we're going to do. She'll be on with us in about 5 minutes. But before we get there, I just want to talk about the energies happening right now, okay? So if you are feeling slightly out of your mind, join the club. It's a really intense time right now. And if you're wondering why, let me tell you, it's because we have Mars, the planet of chaos, about to clash. Mars, the planet of anger, about to clash with Uranus, the planet of chaos. And moreover, it's happening at the time of the full moon, just around the time of the full moon. So, you know, and the full moon is always a super duper emotional time. About that. So let us talk about this coming full moon, and to make it really simple on myself, because I am slightly deranged at the moment, I thought I'm just going to read out from my fantastic Moonology Diary 2021, because then I don't have to think too hard. If you've never heard about them, I do these diaries every year. They're the Moonology Diaries. They've sold out, absolutely sold out across the globe every year since 2019. This is the 2021 version I'm holding up if you're watching on Facebook. And they're amazing resources for people who like to stay in touch with the moon. So looking what's coming up. So on the 19th of November, so that is actually the date all over the world for once, because often it changes. So that's Friday. On Friday, we have not just a full moon, it's a full moon eclipse. So that's another reason why everything feels so crazy right now. It's a full moon eclipse. It's going to be Friday, 8:57 a.m. in London, 7:57 p.m. in Sydney, midnight, sort of 00:57 a.m. in LA, so that's 3 minutes to 1 in the morning. And in New York, it's 3:57 a.m. So that's 3 minutes to 4. So the full moon eclipse season ushers in the start of the last eclipse season of 2021. Among other things, Taurus is strongly associated with creature comforts and the money that's needed to buy them. So basically it's to do with money. Not only, but a lot to do with money. If you want to turn around regarding cash in your life, now is the time to work on it. The thing to remember is that money is energy and it responds to your expectations, okay? If you value yourself, values are also Taurian, you'll attract more cash. It's that simple. People who are clear that they want money and are not afraid to seek it out are far more likely to attract it than people who think that money is the root of all evil, okay? The original Bible quote says that the love of money, not money, is the root of all evil. So there you go. While I was writing this year's diary, the Moonology 2021 diary, someone said to me, anyone who's a medium or psychic and doesn't have much cash, don't trust them. Her point was that once you're in the flow of life, you're in the flow of abundance. Now, I suppose if someone was a medium or a psychic and they lived in, assuming that, then, yeah, I think the point is made anyway. Remember, because money is energy, you'll attract it or repel it as you see fit. If you think all rich people are evil, then you're unlikely to become rich. If you think money can do amazing things, including great charitable works, not to mention beautiful family holidays, you're far more likely to end up as a wealthy philanthropist. Okay, so I hope that makes some sense. And one thing I wanted to share with you today on the show before we get Laura on is a little exercise that you can do regarding for the full moon eclipse. So the full moon eclipse in Taurus is an ideal time to release any negativity that you have around money or any negative situations that you have around money. Think back to your childhood and what your parents taught you about money, okay? Did they treat money as a dirty subject, never to be discussed, okay? Did they treat money as a dirty subject, never to be discussed, which some people do grow up with that, with people saying, we don't talk about money in this family. Not a good idea. Or did they teach you about its value, which is a good thing, which will help you financially? Make a note and use it to analyze your current financial situation. So what kind of, how was it for you growing up with money? If you're a parent, teach your children that generosity creates more abundance and there is more than enough to go around. Teach your children that. All right. So that's where we are. We're going to talk about how to shift our energy with Laura in a minute. One last thing, Laura, I don't know if you're listening, but if you want to be on Facebook on camera, just tune into my live that I've got on my Facebook page right now. Under my Yasmin Boland Facebook page, and I'll be able to bring you on camera. Otherwise, we'll just talk on the phone. And I just want to take a second before we get Laura on. I've told her we just talk the whole show. Just before I do that, just to let you know, if you're into the moon, you want to work with the eclipse, if you're someone who likes to tune into the moon, if you believe, if you understand, if you know that you're creating your own reality, I have a free 3-part webinar series starting tomorrow. That's the 16th of November, 2021. It's free. It's called Working with the Magic of the Moon. And you can sign up for it, but you have to do it today, basically, because it starts tomorrow at moonmessages.com/web21, WEB21, moonmessages.com/web21. And you'll get some goodies when you sign up for it, but I'll be teaching you how to work with the moon. And yeah, that's basically what we've got. So let me see now. Is the beautiful Laura on the line, Louie? Do we have Laura on the line?
I am here.
Yay, I can hear you, Laura. I hope everyone can hear you. Let me just turn up the volume. There we go.
Which Facebook are you on so I can go on live?
So if you go on Facebook and you just type in Yasmin Boland, you should see that I'm doing a live and we'll be able to see your beautiful self.
So this is so new to me.
Very high tech.
So where do okay, so I see live, and now I click on your live.
There we are.
Okay, so how do I get on your live?
So I think you just request to come on let me see. Sorry guys, we're just trying to figure this out live as we go because it's extra fun if we can see Laura. Let me see. Let me just see if I can find you on the list of people. No.
This is so fun.
Yeah, it is fun, isn't it? It's just like everything today is so fun. Oh my God, no, I can't see how to bring you on, Laura. It's okay, we'll just have to listen to your beautiful voice. All right, I have Laura in the phone here.
We will have to we will have to try this out another time. That will be so.
Yes.
So
And if
fun.
yes, that sounds like a good idea. All right, so Miss Laura, so how do we shift the energy? It's nearly the full moon. We let go. It's an eclipse. It's going to be intense. How do we shift energy? How do we effing well do it?
So you know how I've been having you come on and tell us what's going on in the world. Now we all know that our personal astrology is important. It tells us what's going on individually, and it defines really our reactivity. So it defines from what part of ourselves we're going to respond. But knowing what's going on in the world around us, so what in a sense the hive mentality is really important because it lets us know what we are reacting to. Now, one of the things as an intuitive that I teach people is to not just be more intuitive, to get the information we need to do better in our lives, but to also have a psychic screen. So you don't want to experience every demanding, nasty, negative, depressing thing in the world. What you want to do is experience what is useful to you. So in order to do that, it's really important, and everyone do this now, take a moment. What is your purpose right now in your life? And of course, that changes. What is your purpose right now? What are you trying to create? What do you intend to create in your life right now? And take a moment to make a sentence for yourself. Are you trying to create family or success or a really amazing life partner to build a world with? And of course, we're all trying to do a million things at once. But what's your front runner? What do you think what do you experience your next logical, desperate need to be? And then when you have that, it becomes a target. And then you can take it into what's going on in your unique astrology, but even more importantly, in a sense, because your unique reactions, believe me, you're not going to miss them. Even more important is what's going on in the world. And so I asked Yasmin to do this for my group, and I'm going to ask her to do this again. A lot of us, we're building up to a full moon on Friday. I am not an astrologer. I'm a psychic and a healer. But I know this because I have Yasmin come on and let us know this. So what are we building up to? And what we do is we take our individual goal and say, okay, how does that play out with this unique full moon? So what's coming up for us on Friday with this unique full moon? And will you do a manifestation card just for this group?
All right, I will do one. Hang on a minute. Okay.
So you'll all hear, one of the things that I say every morning to my group is I don't love cards as predictors because your fear or your hope often picks them, whereas clean intuition, straight intuition is better at getting data, is getting facts. However, what I love about Yasmin's cards is they let your wise inner voice and the wise guides in your outer world have one voice and speak to you. So this is going to be our group's cards right now to guide you for this new moon, which we have now contextualized in your goal. Okay, so remember your goal as she reads the card. Okay, Yas, you're up.
Okay, so for a start, I just say anyone on Facebook could see this, but this card literally jumped out of the pack, okay? So it's no accident. It's a very weird card to get. It says, it's the full moon in Leo card, go wild, okay? So I'm going to have to refer to the guidebook to try and work out why we have got this card. All right, full moon in Leo. Here we go. Okay. There are times when your best bet in manifesting and in life is to throw all your cards up in the air, so to speak, and see how they fall. As tempting as it might be to try and control a situation, you'll be better off now if you just release and go a little wild. You'll get an answer to your question soon, so you might as well enjoy the ride. The unexpected thing is that having fun is one of the most powerful ways of manifesting your desires. Distance yourself from arrogant people. Find a balance between having a great time and attending to the people who need you. Worrying about someone or something triggers the law of attraction as much as positive thoughts do. So focus on the positive. Excuse me. And Alicia is saying on Facebook, perfect card with what Laura just said. So I live in the affirmation is I live in the...
I'm going to pick up on this with what little I know of astrology. So this full moon is in Taurus, which is an earth sign. It's a ground sign. It's a sign about values and Leo is all about fire and being. And I know I am a Venus in Taurus, and I am a Leo moon. And so once again, I want your attention to be on your target, which is your wish, okay? So with that Leo moon now, with that Taurus moon and this Leo card, what it's saying is, wow, you've been stuck. You're holding on to what you want, but you're not allowing yourself or your world or your vision to be free enough to accept it. So it seems to me what this card is saying is be raucously mindful.
Be what? Sorry? Be what?
I'm losing hearing you.
What did you say? Be raucously mindful?
Yeah, so be mindful, not in that Zen way we think of mindfulness, because that's not what mindfulness is. Mindfulness is just being fully alive in this moment. So what this card is demanding is take this wish and bring it into an expansive place without blowing it up, which the full moon does, I think, any kind of pressure, which the full moon is. And, we know that, for example, psych ward admissions and emergency room admissions are up on the full moon. So it brings something to a pressure. And so the trick of balancing that Leo with that Taurus this coming Friday is, with your wish, how do you expand it while keeping it grounded in reality, which does require both openness and self-control? How do we find that balance? And so that is your task or your wish. That is your task between now and Friday. And what's really interesting in that card is it says, this might not be apparent yet, but it's happening. And there is that element of trust. But for those like myself who don't do trust well, it's really important to realize that whether or not you trust, continuing towards your goal, putting one foot in front of the other, growing and learning and doing the right thing to create what you want is something you need to do anyway. So trust is like the bonus. It's like the little frilly things on the on that lamb crown, but you don't really need them to eat the meal. So that's how I would interpret that. And what intuition does is once you have a goal, intuition starts moving your attention quite forcefully. You don't need to look for your intuition. It just is there. It moves your intuition to the opportunities and also the obstacles that need to be addressed that allow you to create the life you want. And everyone is capable of doing it. In a sense, when your life is the biggest mess, it also holds the biggest potential for change, because we as mammals really hold on to things. We don't allow change. So in Welcome to Your Crisis, I say rock bottom is a great place to start, because what is rock bottom? Rock bottom is, wow, I've lost who I am. Often I've lost who I was with, what I had, my firm grounding. I'm lost, and lost gives you purpose of the retrograde is, you thought you had it pinned down. Well, the thing you had it pinned down also is your jailer. Let me have you review this, re-experience, reassess, reconnect. Let's allow us to renovate and create something new. And times of high pressure, which a full moon is, even scientifically, there's a lot of data to show what the full moon does. Even times of pressure, we'll notice what comes up and feels almost irresistible to act out. That's your reaction style. Don't, while still not buttoning it up, while still being free. So that was a great card, Miss Yaz.
Funny, because when I saw it, I was like, what the heck does this mean? But everybody on Facebook is saying that was a great card, and you're saying that was a great card. Do you know what? I think I'm so mired in confusion in my own life right now with all the things that are going on, especially with my renovations. I think I'm finding it hard to even get through all my confusion to anything, but I don't have a,
You just used two really amazing words that mean different things. Mired and confusion. Because if you think of it, if you're mired in something, you don't have the mobility for confusion. Confusion, as unpleasant as it is on the surface, doesn't allow us to be mired. So what is it when you respond appropriately to being mired? Well, when you're mired in something, it's clear, you're stuck with it, and you can make choices about it. When you're confused, everything's up in the air. So the positive thing of being mired is awareness and grounding. It's Taurus. And the positive thing about confusion and being out there and everything moving is Leo. So what you want to do is say, okay, how is this, what's the lesson plan here? How is this challenging me in my life? Because the issues, there's rarely one issue that's important enough for all the attention we give it. What is this, what's the lesson plan? What is this challenging me to do differently? What does this say about what's coming up for me? And you and I had a little discussion that I think a lot of real greatness is coming up for you. And learning how to be clear, grounded, realistic, and set boundaries is going to be part of being able to take advantage of that greatness. And how do I not be a rocket? Because, a rocket loses too many parts, right? How do I not be a rocket? But how do I be a phoenix? How do I be born into a new life instead of having to burn out my parts? And that's the Leo. And so together, wow, mired in confusion are wonderful, wonderful partners. What I'm saying to all of you is you don't always get to choose what you have. Like, I've been dealing with a lot of grief, a little resentment, some anger. I don't get to choose the elements, but I get to choose how they work together. So grief can give me depth, and depth gives me the ability to find joys that maybe I moved past in development. Anger gives me the energy to, once I harness it, to create new things in my life. And resentment is a refeeling, and it gives me the ability to be the hero of my own story, go to places where maybe I repressed injury, and find the treasures that are left there. We don't always have a choice about what's going on, but we have created it for a reason. So we have a choice about what to do with it. So let's all together right now, metaphorically, put our arms around each other, offer each other our help and our love, and make the choice to create what it is we chose at the beginning of this radio show, and it's different for each one. I chose something as well. What is it you chose? And let's see what happens on this amazing full moon, because wow, a moon in Taurus, for me, that just hit me. The moon, the mother, the feelings, the moon that holds us and carries us in Taurus, in the earth, and the values and the perseverateness of Taurus. That could really be powerful. We could find our feet very well grounded now there will be 7 books, which is about how do you create.
Laura, hang around. We'll be back after the break, okay? And let's talk about the circle. Thanks, Louis. Louis, can you put Laura on? Because maybe in the break we can manage to get her onto my Facebook feed.
Yes, I want to do that.
All right. So, Laura, I think maybe you need to come on as your personal profile, not your professional one.
No, I am on my personal profile. That's the weird thing. So
we've got 3 minutes, so I'm sure we can get it done.
So let's see. Choose, now let's see. And comments on, and can you request me? How do
I can't see you on my list, but if you write a comment, maybe I can invite you on. Bear with us, everybody. If anybody knows how to do this, please put it in the comments. We'll take your advice. Ah, there she is. Okay. All right, so... No, I'm clicking the thing and nothing's happening. No. I can see your comments, so fun, but I can't seem to... Hang on, if I press it... No, it only gives me the option to block you or delete your comment.
Why would this so hurt?
Don't worry, I'm not doing that. Honestly, I'm so paralyzed. It's hard for me to understand even what we're talking about here. I'm just saying that to you and to everybody who's listening. See,
that's fine, and we can do this another day. It's not like
no, I don't mean. I just mean I'm paralyzed in everything else. See if you can find a request to come on.
I think I can. Let me see if I can. Facebook is an enigma to me.
We still have 2 minutes, so.
Let's see. Facebook.
Are you on your computer or your phone?
So wait. So it's so funny. So I can go on live to story. Let me see if I can. No.
Because some people, they request to come on. So there is a button where you can request to come on. Let me just see if I can see it. Does anybody know out there in Facebook land? Because if you do, just tell us. Or maybe we just do it again and hopefully next time it'll work.
Yeah, we'll do it again and we'll figure it out. This may just not be the day.
Maybe.
Although I did put on lipstick.
Let me see who went live. Let me see if I can. If I'm just going to look and see. Okay, there's me. Live videos now playing. All right. This is Carl Rittenberg. We don't want to talk about that.
Question or comment? 816-251-3555. That's 816-251-3555. Find out what's happening in the skies. Welcome back to Astrology with Yasmin.
Okay, we are back. Laura and I didn't manage to get online, but there's one comment here from Betty Ann Romano. There is a little icon bottom left of screen with a person's head. Click that.
Bottom left of screen. Huh.
With someone's head. Click.
Can you click, Missy? Because I don't. Green icon by stars next to comment. So let's see.
No, I'm scrolling down the list of people I can invite and you are not on there.
That is very interesting because I do follow you. That's very strange. Well,
we'll do it another time. We'll do it another time. All right, so where were we? Let's talk about the circle, because I didn't really get a chance to introduce Laura. I just brought her on. So Laura and I actually met on my radio show quite a few years ago. And within sort of 48 hours of us meeting, and she said, what do you want to manifest? And I said, I'd like to manifest a workshop in New York. And within 48 hours, I had a workshop at the Open Center, which she facilitated. She made it happen, but she did it. And then she said, well, you gotta come and stay with me. And I'm like, but we don't know each other. She's like, no, you come anyway. And I'm like, okay, fine. And she sent her driver to pick me up at the airport. So I flew from London, get picked up in this car by her beautiful driver. And that's quite a few years ago now, and here we are. So Laura is known as the psychic of Wall Street, amongst other things, because she counsels Fortune 500 companies about what the market's up to and what they should be doing if they want to continue to make lots of money. She also teaches people how to do what she does. She does daily Facebook Lives, which I'm often on Instagram under Laura Day Intuit. She's a New York Times best-selling author, and she had, one of her books is The Circle. And before we were so unceremoniously interrupted by the break, Laura, you were about to tell us a little bit about The Circle and how it works, which is basically, Laura's basically into manifesting. So, let's go. Oh, she hates the word manifesting, and she doesn't like oracle cards except my oracle cards. Okay, co-creating. Call it what you want. What do you want to call it? And she lives in New York, in case you couldn't guess.
Make something happen. That's what matters. Because one of the things is when you magicalize. Oh, I wish actually, guys, I was on camera because I did a spread with your cards today, and which I've left out. But maybe I'll post them on your Facebook as a photo.
All right.
But one of the things that I do with clients, now I work with business, not because I'm a hard ass, which I also am, I guess, but I work with business because business, I'm one of many voices, whereas in a person's life, that's a huge responsibility. I may be the only voice. And it's so important. One of the reasons I do love your cards, Yas, is that they allow people to hear their own wisdom more clearly. And we so easily toss out our own wisdom. So I have worked with companies because I'm part of a team of people who know what they're doing, and also because it pays me enough to allow me to train other people to be intuitive in the world. And that's really where my heart is. My heart is in creating evidence-based, accurate, well-paid, healthy, happy intuitives in the world. And so every year, about twice a year, I do something called boot camp, which is a training. And some people just take it to get 49 other people to read them for the rest of their lives or do healings with them. And some of them take it to be professionals. A lot of my professionals take it again and again, and each time they bring their skills to a new level. And it is also where I find the wonderful intuitives that I refer you to, or the wonderful healers I refer you to, when you say, I want to book a reading. Because I don't do readings for individuals. The exception is every morning on Instagram. Because every morning on Instagram at Laura Day Intuit, we have a community, and we get together to do a process that saved my life decades ago called The Circle, that is now, that has been a book since 2001. It actually came out on 9/10/2001. Think about it, folks. I live right next to the World Trade Center. So it was like this wonderful light that was published when I couldn't do a book tour because planes were grounded. The World Trade Center literally fell in front of my front door. And here I had this amazing process of creation and hope to share with people. So Yasmin comes on often in the morning because I'm not an astrologer. I'm actually not a mystic. I'm an intuitive. Our brain is able to do things. Like
she thinks I'm ridiculously woo-woo.
Know what other people are feeling and thinking, and so what I do is help you frame that. Oh, do we have to take a break?
No more breaks. We're on until the end. No, I was going to say, I said, you're not a mystic and you think I'm really, really woo-woo.
method, which I don't actually think is accurate with cards, but as a guide, which, by the way, your power isn't in being able to see what's going to happen tomorrow. Sure, that helps, but that's not your power. There are lots of psychics who live in cat piss smelling, fifth floor walk up alone on Oreo cookies. Your power is being present in the moment and being able to experience your own guidance and be able to be in reality and then move the pieces to create what you want. That is where your power is. And what I love about all of her cards, but especially the manifestation cards, which, by the way, Amazon is so slow to deliver. I'm so pissed off. And you didn't send me a deck. I ordered some decks.
I did send you a deck. You should have it.
I do not.
Well, it's the post as well.
Not. So anyway, or do I? No. Wait, which are the ones? I used the old ones today. So I don't. So I ordered a bunch for listeners because I love to send my listeners gifts, and we don't do it as a lottery. I just figure out who needs what, and I send them. She picks a card each day, so we listen to our own guidance. And I think that that's so important. So we have this community. I do it without makeup in my pajamas. So everyone's seeing my pajama selection every morning, first cup of coffee when I wake up. And it has really, our lives have changed. It just came to me kind of as a blip. Wow, why do I wait to formally go on? Why don't I just go on and work with, my team of healers and intuitives every morning and let us just join together, because there is power in unity. And unity, we all say, unity, oneness, as if it's such a wonderful, easy thing. It's not. You need to take care of you, first and foremost. And then you need to negotiate you with everything and everyone around you. That's not for the what do you say? Not for the weak of heart,
Not for the faint-hearted.
Yeah. Not for the faint-hearted. Not for the faint of heart. So we do the circle every morning, which are 9 elements that allow you to create in your life. And I ask, people, treasures who do different things than I do, to come on and give their wisdom to our group. And so, often Yasmin will come on and do that, which I really appreciate, because we do need a mystic. Every once in a while, a little mysticism helps. Because what is mysticism? Mysticism is our ability to realistically expand reality beyond what we have a first-hand exposure to. So I always say to my students, if you didn't know what a door was, you'd walk by a door and you'd never try to open it. Once you know what a door is, all of a sudden it becomes a useful tool. And that's really what I try to do with mysticism. How is this useful? Because, guys, life is hard and life is wonderful. And making it easier, making our tools more effective, allows us to go on that spectrum from, oh my God, how did I live through this day, to, oh my God, there's so much pleasure here, how am I staying in a body? It's so amazing. It allows us to go more to the good side, and that's important. And it's also, by the way, important physically. We had a wonderful naturopath on talking about cortisol. It is so important for your body to have hope, for your body to be supported, for your body to have all these wonderful things, and it starts in the brain.
Yeah.
And it is a dance we do with the planet, with each other, with ourselves, with our future, with our past. So you find me on social media. I'm seeing the comments. I am Laura Day Intuit. If you look up Laura Day Psychic, you'll find lots of malicious gossip, but you will find my website, and I'm putting it on right now.
And also, Laura, tell us about your boot camp.
So boot camp is it's a 5-session training, and that 5-session training really it's an intense trial by fire. It is a training to be intuitive. Some people just take it for their own life, but it's how do you get details with your intuition that helps you make better decisions. It helps you find what you need in your life. It's a lot of work, and it's also a commitment to a community, because boot camps go on forever, in the sense that the people read each other often every week, sometimes even every day, some of them. They do healings on each other. Right now we're raising money for a boot camper who is fostering 3 amazing kids. So we really get involved in each other's lives and destinies, because guess what? Person A has too much of this thing, person Y too much of that thing, but when we come together in community, all we have is abundance. And your needs are manageable. They're not manageable when you're under the illusion that you're alone, because you're not. You might have forgotten to reach out. You might not have a good methodology for connecting in a way that gets your needs met, but you are not alone. You are never alone. And one of the things intuition shows us, and certainly by the end of boot camp, you know, is you can't even scratch your butt without satisfying 30 other people's itch, because we are always one. We are always in a unified reality. What you do, what you think, what you eat, what you feel, it is all important. Your needs are important. Your contributions are important. There's someone who needs to give what it is you need. There is someone who needs to fall in love with beautiful you. There is someone who needs to support your business. And there's someone who needs what you have to offer. And community is so important. So anything I do is always community building. And like I've noticed just, since Yas and I have been doing these things on Instagram in the morning, our communities are now speaking to each other. My readers are reading her people online and doing healing, and they're, helping with the wisdom that they get from Yasmin's teachings and cards. And we bring our community up a notch, and then we'll connect it further, and we bring it up another notch. And I'm going to have a surgeon come on, because all of us are on camera playing with our faces in dangerous ways, and that community will be added. And we can always find our diversity. We can also always find our unity. And it is important to honor diversity, and it is important to find that unity. In the diversity is the help and the enlightenment we all need, and the unity is the support and the strength that we need to have that.
Okay.
Amen. Have an amen.
Amen, Laura. So, Laura, can we just take a call?
Oh, I'd love to say, oh my God.
We actually have a couple of people. We've had a couple of people who've managed to call in, even though I didn't give the number. So, Louis, let's go to line 2, Michelle.
Hello.
Hi, Michelle. You're on with Yasmin and Laura. Tell us what you would like to know about. What's news?
I just was interested in maybe what I should be expecting in the next few months. I know for me personally, between work and I went back to school, I have some ideas in mind on what I want to do. Maybe write a book, do some more soul searching, but basically just what path or direction I should go into.
Okay, Laura, over to you.
Interesting. So the way Yasmin would do that would be with a card. So Yas, why don't you pick a card for her?
All right.
One of the first things that I teach my students and my intuitives is when you're all over the place, you're unlikely to get an answer. I don't quite know what your thinking is around writing a book. That does not seem just intuitively like the next logical step for you. My suggestion for you would be to do the circle, because I think you need to focus, and I think you're so tired right now. You're doing so much. You're so overwhelmed, and you're so scared. And I intentionally say vague, but I think you know what I'm talking about. You're so scared that you're letting a piece of your life go and not giving it enough attention, which you shouldn't be. You have time to do that piece. That you're all over the place. So the first thing you need to do is not be all over the place. I would do the circle, Holiday Circle on YouTube. You're welcome to get the book that has a workbook, but the steps of the circle are on YouTube, and you do them every morning. But the first step is, what is it you're creating? And for you, actually, before you even do the circle, I would experiment. I would experiment in fantasy, and fantasy is not intuition. I would experiment with what is it in your dream life? What is your dream life? What are you doing? Who's with you? And then I would go back to today, because I think the scattering is that today is overwhelming for you, in the sense of this moment in your life is a little overwhelming. Although, as I say that, I'm like, nah, it really isn't. You've got this under control. You're a little scared it's not going to take you where you want to go. Jumping over steps is not the way to get there, my friend. What today can you do? How could you put the word out about a special skill today? How can you make the connection today? A lot of these techniques we use are great, like great to sit and meditate on it. Even better to take an action. So what I would say, so here's your special challenge. Today I want you to, what is your dream life? And all elements. What is your dream life? And I want you to write it down, or you can draw a picture if you're a good artist. But what is your dream life, and what is one action that makes sense that you can do today? Writing a book for me feels like a big jump, maybe in 2 years or so, but just feels like that's not your successful next logical step. Your successful next logical step of making the connections to spread the word about what you're doing. That's reversed for me, and I can't read that way. Wait, step out of your comfort zone. Oh my God, that's so great. Yes. And what is that? Wait, you're moving it. Are you trying to give me a migraine?
Sorry. Step out of your comfort zone, South Node.
Yeah. I know
North Node.
in astrology.
What'd you say, Laura? Sorry?
What is the South Node in astrology?
Yeah, it's actually the North Node. So the North Node and the South Node, it's a little bit complicated to explain, but basically the Earth is moving around the Sun and the Moon is moving around the Earth, and it's where those two paths meet, the North and the South Node. So she's got step out of your comfort zone.
What I'm talking about is your future, your past meeting in your present. You need to really stay in the present, be engaged in your life. If you are doing the work you should be doing, your future is going to present itself every single day. Don't be in a different time zone so much that you can't take advantage of that. My sense is that you're on the right track and you're feeling a little lonely right now. And so you're thinking of how to medicate that with life. Life is not medication. Life is really best lived through your intention and your courage. And I know you can do it. You're on the right track. I feel like you don't need any advice except for be in the moment. Make yourself feel good now. Okay? That's really what you need. It's just a little feel good. Because everything else you're doing just fine. So that's my final word.
I think everything you kind of said was spot on. I'm very intuitive myself, and I am all over the place with school and work and all those different things. So just kind of honing in, and I'm coming up to the end of school. I'm coming up to a lot of different endings, and it's scary for me. So that's why I reached out. It's really more. It's for communication, but it's more for me, it's more for, I'm not the role I had from 20 years ago.
Okay, I don't care about the deeper meaning. What are you getting this degree for? What is the degree in? Communication, what do you mean? What are you going for? Because that's
the degree. It's to prove to myself I can do it and give myself confidence for the next thing.
Okay, you don't need confidence, and you can do it. I really think the next thing. First of all, when I look at your future, what you should be doing, I think you should offer to give little. We ask where you live.
In California.
Okay, so I think you should offer like little startup offices to give little talks about something that's important to that office. I see you beginning by speaking about experience, even if it's the experience of how to retrace a dream and make it current in your life. Like I think the book is the Hail
Hail Mary that just shows your lack of confidence because you're not willing to become who you're becoming in order to build a following to write a book. You have to have faith. You have to feel good. You don't have to trust. And frankly, proving yourself you can do it. I think the reason you went back to school is you needed some structure. And now you need a new structure. So I want you now. And Yas, can you quickly pick another card for her? I'll tell you why. Will you pick another card for her, Yas?
Yep, I will.
I think, don't tell us what it is yet. So I think that really it doesn't matter what the structure is, whether you say at 9 I work out, at 10 I make one phone call to make contact for my work. And it's so funny because I feel like there's another, you almost look like a real estate agent to me in the sense of you're viewing different properties and different lives. And I think you should try out those lives, like one life a day. What's the card, Yas?
It's take a reality check. But it says, on the one hand, if you've been worrying about something, it means don't waste another minute worrying. If you're wondering how something's going to turn out, this could be the sign that you've hit a roadblock. And in order to change that, you have to put a bit of extra effort in.
And I think the next challenge for you is relationship. Is really clearing that space for yourself. Okay, shall we take another caller?
Okay, let's take one more call. We've only got another 3 minutes left. Let's take Ginny on line 3. Ginny on line 3.
So wait, Yas, you and I have to tandem this together, so pick a card for her.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Wow, that's so cool. Yay! My intuition told me that you were going to pick me today.
Yay! Well, I didn't even give the number, so...
I sort of want to know about everything, but I'm listening to Laura and focusing in on life partner. So, on, just not being by myself anymore. It's been a lot of years.
Okay, so I'm going to do this really quickly and then have Yas do the card. Which is, you know what? A prediction doesn't help with that, and I bet you've gotten lots and lots of wrong predictions, haven't you? I think you need to choose to not be alone anymore, and I think you need to start today. Go out, say hello to someone, start a conversation. Woman, man, dog, whatever. Get yourself in the pattern of connection. I wrote a book called Practical Intuition and Love. Not my favorite book, but the exercises work. I wrote it while I was nursing, so excuse the rest of it. And a lot of it's online. It's do things that are partnered. I danced with my husband long before I met him. Now he dances with me and it makes me move. I'm coming up on my 8-year anniversary. Can you read the card yet?
Yes, in fact, you've got a rather mysterious card, Ginny. Nothing is set in stone.
Nothing is set in stone?
Nothing is yet set in stone, so you still have the opportunity to influence this.
So what is this? It's the what moon?
It's the mutable moon. Changeable. So in other words, it means you're not destined to be single forever. You're not destined to be with someone forever. You still need to kind of create it.
But start it now. My feeling is that someone did a number on you in your childhood around your own self-image. And I think that the nice thing about being an adult is you can reparent yourself. And it may not have been intentional. It may have been just circumstantial. But I think you need to realize, listen, I'm a 62-year-old woman whose skin doesn't fit her body, who has breast cancer and has fake boobs, and who has had a child. And my husband makes me feel like I'm a hot horse. Well,
Yeah, you are, but Laura, you are hot. Guys, we've got 20 seconds left. Laura, tell people again where to find you, please.
Laura Day, LauraDay, LauraDay.com or PracticalIntuition.com. Every morning on Laura Day Intuit on Instagram, and often our wonderful Yas is there with us, letting us know about the planetary influences and picking us a manifestation card.
Lots of love, everybody. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Louis. Laura, I'm just going to call you very quickly on WhatsApp to say goodbye to the Facebook people. Let me see if I can get her. I don't know if I can actually because this phone's not my phone. Anyway, that was Laura Day of lauraday.com. She's amazing. We love her. Laura Day Intuit on Instagram. I'm not sure what time she does it on Instagram every day. I think it might be like 6 or 7 a.m. her time. And it's definitely, I think it's, honestly, I don't know. It's always random. She sends me a WhatsApp message. All right. So guys, thank you so much. Have a beautiful day, night, wherever you are. Thank you to Laura, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Oh, and remember, free webinar starts tomorrow. If you want to register, moonmessages.com/web, W-E-B,